Dear students, I am Dinesh, working as assistant professor. Dear students, in this video session, I am going to explain the concept of heat and temperature. Here in this session, I am going to brief the concept of heat and temperature, zeroth law, and first law of thermodynamics. Let us see one by one in brief. Introduction to thermodynamics. Here, thermodynamics deals with the transfer of heat energy from one place to another and the conversion of heat energy into mechanical work or vice versa. There are two aspects which are dealt by the first law and second law of thermodynamics. They are first one, conversion of one form of energy into other form of energy, and the direction in which energy transfer takes place. Let us understand the concept of heat and temperature. Here, heat is a form of thermal energy. Totally, heat describes the transfer of thermal energy between molecules within a system and is measured in joules. Heat is defined as energy in transit. Heat measures how energy moves or flows. An object can gain heat or lose heat, but it cannot have heat. Heat is a measure of change, never a property possessed by an object or system. Therefore, it is classified as a process variable. It is a measure of the number of atoms multiplied by the energy possessed by each atom. It is the ability to do work. Let us see the temperature. Temperature describes the average kinetic energy of molecules within a material or system and is measured in degrees Celsius, Kelvin or Fahrenheit. It is a measurable physical property of an object. It is also known as state variable. It is like a level which determines the direction in which the heat will flow. It is related to how fast the molecules within a substance are moving. It can be used to measure the degree of heat. Dear friends, we shall discuss about the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Here it states that if systems or bodies A and B, let's suppose two systems A and B are each in thermal equilibrium with the third system C, then the two systems A and B are in thermal equilibrium with each other. See in this diagram. Here the zeroth law defines the concept of temperature, which is fundamental to the first and second laws. Hence the law that defines temperature must have a lower number than the first and second laws. Hence the name zeroth law. I repeat, the zeroth law defines the concept of temperature, which is fundamental to the first and second laws. Hence the law that defines temperature must have a lower number than the first and second laws. Hence the name zeroth law. Consider two systems A and B, here shown in the diagram, A and B, which are insulated from each other. But in good thermal contact with a common system C, system A and B will attain thermal equilibrium with the third system C. Here A and B will attain thermal equilibrium with the third system C. Now, if the insulating partition is removed, here insulating partition is removed and system A and B are brought into thermal contact, see in the diagram 2. We find that there is no further change. This means that the systems A and B are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is known as zeroth law of thermodynamics. Let us see thermodynamic equilibrium. What do you mean by thermodynamic equilibrium? Any state of homogeneous system in which any two of the three variables, pressure, volume and temperature, remain constant as long as the external conditions remain unchanged, is said to be in thermodynamic equilibrium. For the attainment of complete equilibrium, three conditions have to be satisfied. First one is mechanical equilibrium. If there are no unbalanced forces between the several parts of the system or between the system and its surroundings, then the system is said to be in thermal equilibrium. That is called mechanical equilibrium. Second one is thermal equilibrium. If the temperature is the same in all parts of the system, and if this temperature is the same as that of the surroundings, then the system is said to be in thermal equilibrium. Third one is chemical equilibrium. If there should be no chemical reaction within the system and also no movement of any chemical constituent from one part to the other part of the system, is said to be in chemical equilibrium. These are all complete equilibrium conditions have to be satisfied for thermodynamic equilibrium. Let us see the quasi-static process. Quasi-static process means a finite unbalanced force may cause the system to pass through non-equilibrium states. That means it is defined as the process in which the deviation from the thermodynamic equilibrium is infinitesimal and all the states through which the system passes during a quasi-static process can be considered as equilibrium states. Let us see the first law of thermodynamics. In the first law of thermodynamics is a particular case of the general principle of conservation of energy. That means energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but it is transferred from one part to another part. The statement of the first law of thermodynamics like this: the heat energy given to a system is equal to the sum of the increase in internal energy and the external work done by the system. For a very small change in the state of the system, the law is expressed in differential forms as, that is, dq equals du plus dw, where dq is the heat energy, that is equal to sum of internal energy and amount of work to be done. But work done equals the product of pressure and small change in volume, that is P into dV. This is the differential form equation for first law of thermodynamics. It should be remembered that all the quantities in the above equation, that means dq equals du plus dw, that must be expressed in unit of energy. The amount of heat Q or dQ is taken as positive if heat is supplied to the system, and negative if heat is removed from the system. If heat is supplied to the system, then dQ is taken as positive. If heat is removed from the system, then it is taken as negative. Similarly, the work W or dW, the work done dW is positive when the external work is done by the system in expansion, and negative the work is done on it in compression. Here during expansion the work done is taken as positive, in the compression the work is taken as negative. Let us see the limitation of the first law of thermodynamics. Dear students, this first law is applicable to every process in nature between the equilibrium states. If does not specify the condition under which a system can use its heat energy to produce a supply of mechanical work. It also does not say how much of heat energy can be converted into work. That's all. Thank you very much.